Hey guys, welcome back to Producer Talk. My name is Esteban, your host. And if you're new here, this is the podcast where we sit down with producers to break down what's actually working in today's music business. Producer Talk is presented by Producer Fury, the platform that helps producers find artists in their niche and reach out to them with confidence instead of spending hours searching for the right artist. Today, I'm joined by Madatracker. We're going to talk about how they built a full-time production career from Paraguay, generated over 800,000 plays on BeatStars, and earned production credits on songs that have gone to reach over 109 million streams on Spotify, along with some of the lessons he's learned along the way. Mother Trucker, welcome to the show, man. How are you doing?
Hey man, cannot complain. Just here working all
Love
day.
that. I love that, man.
Yeah.
So, let's just get started from the beginning. How did your music journey initially start?
Well, basically, when I was young, I took piano lessons.
Mhm.
I didn't want to, but my family, basically, they forced me. but ended up being like a really helpful because
Mm,
the piano is like the mother of all instruments. So
mm.
yeah, it helped me a lot. So I'm grateful for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that's so
Mm.
that's so interesting, especially when kids are forced to do something and like it pays off in the end, like when they become adults.
Yeah.
So piano was your first introduction. What age did you say it was again?
Sorry.
What age did you start playing piano?
Eight 8 years old.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at 8 years
Mhm.
old, then where do you go from there? Do you move on to other instruments, or do you run into like a DAW, like, or where does the journey really go from there?
Yeah, because I always wanted to be a guitar player.
Mm,
So and I asked my dad to buy a guitar because I couldn't obviously. So yeah, he bought it and I just learned. I mean,
mm,
I had a book and I started to read that book since and I already know how to play the piano. So
mm,
it was kind of easier
mm,
to learn the guitar. So yeah, I started and a lot by ear as well. A lot.
mm,
I just listen to rock bands and so on, and I practice every day.
mm.
Yeah.
Speaking of rock bands, when
Mm.
did you get the introduction into your first rock band? Eventually, you become a musician, right? A guitarist. So, where does that start for you? At what age, and what was the process like?
I was earlier
Mm,
and was basically at 6 years old because my sister introduced me to Guns N' Roses, and it was crazy, like a really
mm,
crazy band, and also they have like really good songs, for me at least. Yeah.
mhm. And when did you start your band, or did you join a band at one time?
Yeah, I started basically
Mhm,
when I was 15 years old. No, 16 years old. Maybe. Yeah.
mhm. That's cool. And what were you doing at 16? Were you just like practicing in the garage? Like, kind of sounds like a movie almost, but like, what was that? What was that like for you?
Yeah, at my room. Yes, on my
Mhm,
room practicing, and then at school I have like two bandmates. Basically, I mean, one play the drums and the other play the bass.
mhm,
And we said, let's start a band, and we
mm.
play covers as always, as
Nice.
everybody. Yeah.
Mhm,
And we did that for the concert that the school used to do
mm,
every year. You know, we played
mhm,
there and it was cool. And yeah, I always wanted to be in a band, always.
mm.
That was my goal.
Right.
But I ended up being like a producer.
Mm. Okay,
Yeah.
so where does the evolution come from? Like going from like a bandmate in high school, did you continue being in a rock band as an adult and then fall into producing? Like, how did that go?
Yeah, because
Mhm,
we recorded our first demo
mhm,
and original songs. And it didn't sound great, but
mhm. Yeah.
not because we played bad. It's
Hmm.
just something is not well missed. I don't know. I didn't know how to play in that moment,
Of course.
but and always when we recorded something, it it didn't sound good. So
Mm,
I got interested in that. How I know, I know that there's missing something
mhm,
that hasn't to be with the musicians, but with the production itself. I
Mm.
didn't know that was production. And then I bought a PC
Mm-hmm.
and I bought a mixer,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just used the onboard interface.
Mm-hmm.
I connected the mixer and I started recording my own band.
Mm.
And yeah, it worked. I mean, my intuition just guided me, and
Mm-hmm.
I was mixing and I was tweaking things and so on. And yeah, that really improved the sound, the overall
Mm-hmm.
sound. And that's when I basically started to become a producer, because I knew how to write as well,
Mm.
like MIDI things and
Mm-hmm.
arrangement and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where I started, and then I started to record my other musicians friends that they have bands and so on, and I started like that.
Mm.
And people started to come here because I was like doing a good job making them sound good. So
Mm.
that was basically
That
when I
makes sense.
started.
It sounds
Mm.
really natural too, especially people coming up to you or your friends joining you. So my question is, you said like you kind of followed your intuition and figured it out. How do you
Mhm.
figure it out from scratch? Because you mentioned learning like guitar from a book and then playing it, but
Mm.
you have like the piano as like the foundation, so that helped a lot. So when you're going into mixing and mastering, which I think is like the hardest part of production, are you comparing it to like songs you like from Guns N' Roses, or are you just going strictly off your ear? Like, how is your intuition guiding you, and then how are you learning like what's right and wrong, especially when you're starting from zero?
Yeah, yeah. Listening to a lot of bands,
Mm-hmm.
um, noticing that the drums sounds really good, sounds like, I don't know, my intuition, like you said, it's like you listen to something like the drums has something, and that was the compressor. Ah, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that was the compressor. Do that. Ah, okay, the equalization do this and that, and then you just start experimenting and yeah, and comparing a lot with what I used to listen, Sepultura, Guns N' Roses, Nirvana, Metallica, and so on, Linkin Park, and those bands. So yeah, comparing, and try to sound like that,
Mm-hmm.
tweaking everything, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize like making mistakes is like the basis like all success. So like, can you talk
Yeah.
about that portion? Because you said like you were testing things and you realized the compressor did this and this did that. So like,
Hmm.
I feel like me personally, I'm really hard on myself when I make mistakes, but it's necessary for them to be made for you to learn. So how long do you think it really took you to get to where you're at now, or consider, or where you consider yourself good? And how many years, how many songs do you think it took?
A lot, a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I do a mix, I listen over and over again, and I
Mhm.
redo and redo till it sounds really good. But that's how do you say, like, you always evolve. How do you say evolutionary? Do you
Yeah. Evolution. Evolve.
evolution, yeah, evolve? Yeah, you
Yeah.
always evolve. So let's say I listened to something like from
Mhm.
15 years ago that I did.
Mhm.
I will say, oh man, this this is not so good, and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you always evolve and you always
Mm.
learn something new. But yeah, it took a lot of time. Took a lot of time
Mm.
and trial and errors, and also watching YouTube tutorials and so on. So
YouTube
yeah,
University.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
No, that's cool. So, how long were you recording bands for before you transitioned to like BeatStars, and then what made you even get into BeatStars?
and basically it was like 6 years, six
Mhm.
years before that. Um, yeah, because Paraguay is not big, and
Mhm.
you don't have too many rock bands. Maybe
Mm.
today more than before, but we are like a pretty small scene, music
Mhm.
scene. So yeah, we know each other. Like you can know everyone here.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, so basically, um, they they wanted to come here and record because I also I'm chill. I don't judge when I record them, and I just let it flow basically,
Mm,
and then mix and master and deliver the work. Mm.
mm. You mentioned like you're not judgmental, and I know like a lot of times engineers when they record, sometimes part of the job is recording artists that suck. So I mean, can you talk about that process? Does does that matter to you at all, or in the beginning you really didn't care because you knew maybe you sucked too, and they were kind of growing with you at the same time? Like, what's that like from your perspective? I'm curious.
Yeah. Basically, I would like people to come like
Hmm.
they already practice and so on, but not always the case. But I have patience. I have patience,
Mm,
and I make them repeat and repeat, and then maybe tell them that next time they can practice a little more and so on.
mm-hmm,
So, but at the end of it all, they didn't waste their money and their time.
mm,
So it's easier for them if they already come like
mm-hmm.
practiced. I don't know. It's,
Yeah.
but but not a big deal. Not a big deal really, because you can do for parts. Okay, you small parts you record and then start from there. This is not too hard as well, and they can learn as well while they are recording. So not a big deal for
Mm.
me. Yeah.
I know you mentioned Paraguay doesn't have like a really big scene, and that's kind of like the
Mm.
reason why you hopped online. And I feel like a lot of like, for example, if you don't live like in LA, New York, maybe Florida, like it's kind of hard to have like find a good music scene. So when
Hmm.
you transition into BeatStars, did you have like a strategy? Did you know what you were doing, or like what was it like in the beginning, trying to go from in-person recording to just releasing beats online?
Hmm. Yeah, when I started with beats, hip hop
Hmm.
beats, because that's basically what I was seeing in the YouTube and BeatStars.
Hmm.
And I when I listen to something, I can reproduce that. So I said,
Mm.
yeah, I can do hip hop beats, but it wasn't my thing really.
Hmm.
So rock was my thing, and I said, well, okay, I can I should try to make rock beats. Yeah, and I started to make rock beats, and that was easier for me, and the workflow was better, and so on. And I knew or I know how a rock beat should sound like. So yeah, that's what when I started to upload like Nirvana type beats, and then I started to upload like corn, new metal, and yeah, people started to buy it. Like not a lot, right?
Hmm.
But I also
Hmm.
sold some hip hop beats. Yeah, I
Hmm.
remember that. I remember. But it was easier and it was more like the rock beats, but
Hmm.
was easier for me. And people started to realize that yeah, this is a good instrumental that I can use. Yeah.
Is there a difference in like the type of person that buys a hip hop beat and the type of person that buys a rock beat? I only say that because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
producers I've worked with or I talk to, like just rappers are just so unreliable. They're so inconsistent. You know what I mean? They're too cool. They're just too cool.
Uh,
So like, do you see like a difference in the type of person that buys a hip hop beat and a rock beat, or no?
yeah, could be. But
Mm,
I don't have too many experience with rappers.
mm-hmm.
But
True.
I heard that people said
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, some producer used to say that. I don't know. Maybe a rock type guy is like I don't know how to explain. Like more loyal to the
Mm-hmm.
genre and so on. And they can how do you say like they appreciate the
Mm.
work and something like that.
No,
Maybe.
I agree. I
Uh,
agree. It's a
mm-hmm,
little too easy to rap nowadays. So I agree. Um,
mm-hmm,
so did you see a big uptick when you kind of transitioned from hip hop to rock? Because it makes more sense since that was like your background.
mm-hmm,
After like the consistency of dropping the rock beats, when did it like officially start like taking off for you? You have almost a million plays total, so on
mm-hmm.
BeatStars. So when did you start seeing like the uptrend for yourself? Was it later, in the beginning, in the middle? part of the time when you're releasing on BeatStars?
Basically in the beginning, because I just released like let's see, maybe 5 hip hop beats,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that those five, I just started to upload rock beats,
Mm.
and then after that maybe it took like 1 year
Mm.
and a half. Um, Maybe it was when I sold one, no,
Mhm.
3 bits that I sold with the unlimited list.
Mhm.
And I think the bits are in that moment, at least when you sell something like big, like $350, something like that,
Mhm.
they like they'll put you on the feed. They put you on the feed.
Mm.
So people that are in the platform,
Mhm.
they see they see the top
Interesting.
charts, top rock charts producers, and so
Mhm.
on. And that's where I started to see the, how do you say that,
Speaking.
uprising, I don't know how to say it, like.
Mhm.
And yeah, and YouTube also, YouTube,
Mm.
people started to notice that the beats are good and so on, and they give the like and comment, and that fit the algorithm, and then you start to get noticed, basically.
Real quick, I want to take a brief pause from the episode to share something that can genuinely help you if you're a producer. Most producers spend hours scrolling through Spotify or Instagram trying to find artists that match their sound. The problem is that most of the time, you're searching blindly and hoping you come across the right fit. That's where Producer Fury comes in. Producer Fury's Finder tool helps you discover artists in your specific niche based on how they sound. You can also filter artists by Spotify monthly listeners and Instagram followers, making it easy to find artists that fit the exact stage of growth you're looking to work with. Check out Producer Fury for yourself. Click the link in the description and use promo code ESTE407 to get 20% off your membership. Now back to the episode. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because with, like, for example, hip hop beats, people just rap over it, but with like rock beats, it's a little bit different because you have like instrumentalists and musicians playing that music. So were the people buying your rock beats just vocalists, or were they also in a band and they just really like the beat, wrote to it, sang
Mm.
to it, and had their band playing? Like, how does that process work? Is it any different?
Most of them, they were vocalists,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a lot of cases as well that they have a band and they wanted to use my instrumental or list the instrumental and then play with the band, and basically their vocalists just start to put the melody over the instrumental, so
Mm-hmm.
the, the process for them is really easier. So they just, um, how do you say, like, they reproduce the song by ear,
Mm-hmm.
and basically the vocalist is the one that started to write the melodies over this. So yeah, there's a lot of cases in the that they play live using my instrumentals,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up buying or leasing, or maybe they want the exclusive for that instrumental as well. So yeah, because the process when you start a band, at least,
Mm-hmm.
and you do your own song, your structure is different, and maybe my
Mm-hmm.
structure is like really commercial. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's to the point, and it's everything is like you have a product, already a product. And when you are recording with your band and you are going through that process, and for them was easier to just, okay, this is basically already done, so it's it's faster. It depends on the musician as well, because some musicians, they want to do everything, and that's okay. Everybody's different, so I don't judge them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At this point, when you start seeing
Mm.
like an uprise in people buying your beats because you follow your intuition and you transition to selling rock beats exclusively.
Mm.
So, were you doing this full time, like producing, recording, or were you kind of like working a job and like making money on the side, or did you just go all in on this?
Yeah, but what I used to have, um, how do you say, store
Mm-hmm.
where I sell. video games,
Okay.
basically PlayStation, and I rent as well.
Mm,
I was like, it was how I started basically, but I had a job in a local channel, TV channel. Then from there, I used to teach guitar and piano.
mm,
And basically, that money I for with that money I started my store, my
mm.
video game store,
Really?
and then from my video game store I started to
Mm-hmm.
buy the thing and the
Mm-hmm.
gear for the studio,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got some clients that started to
Mm,
to record here, um, and that was like a cycle basically.
mm-hmm.
And then I started to dedicate more to the studio
Mm-hmm.
and my store, and I left the job,
Mm-hmm.
and then I left the store and focused more on the studio. And after that, I did a BeatStars thing, and that's basically just everything was just full time producer from there.
That's such a random side hustle. Selling games and renting is so random. That's cool though. I mean you're a hustler, bro. Like you invested. You took because at the end of the day, your job takes time away from you. So you found a way to make more money to spend less time there, and then took
Yeah,
that money and put it back into what you wanted to do, and then you ended up doing that full time.
yeah,
And I think
yeah.
a lot of producers a lot of producers have a hard time finding stability. I mean, at the end of the day,
Mm,
especially in the music business, even if you're an artist, it's very, very difficult. But I mean, clearly, you got to be doing something else in the beginning. It's really, really
yeah,
hard to go all in and then
yeah.
and then hope it works. Which in some cases it does. Most cases it doesn't. So
Hmm.
when you're doing this, right? You got your game store business going, and then you kind of transition to the studio full time. When did you get the opportunity with the artist that had that one song that has over 109 million views on Spotify? Like, how did that happen? Did that happen from? Did she buy a beat from your BeatStars? Did you reach out to her? Like, how did that opportunity come into play for you?
Yeah, this artist just bought the beat, and she put the melody over it, and it started to be a hit. Like, but yeah, she is really good at promoting her stuff.
Mm, of
It's really good. I think that was as well. I mean, a part of that
course.
besides the good music, right? Because she has a really cool voice, good voice, and I think all together, she put all together and promoting well and so on, and it started to rise. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, she started to tour to all the United States. And yeah, and that was the hit. That was the song that you close the event. How do you say that?
Mm,
You
the ma-
finish
the yeah.
you finish with that song basically.
Okay.
So people wait for that song
Mm,
basically.
that's crazy. Have you ever
Yeah,
seen her perform your beat live or her song with your
yeah,
beat live?
yeah, yeah,
Really? Oh my!
yeah,
What does that feel like? That must be insane. Like hearing people like sing word for word.
yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I also watched a YouTube tutorial that
No way.
that but the guy didn't do the exact how I do it, how
Mm.
I did. Yeah, it was different, but it's okay. Okay,
Well, can you
yeah.
remind me? I forget the artist in the song. What was the artist in the song again?
Yes, violent Byra.
Ireland Meyer. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the song,
This I don't care.
I don't care. Okay, I actually
Yeah.
listened to it the first time we spoke,
Mm.
because I was just curious. But I just thought that was insane. So it has 109 million views now, but of course, out the gate, it didn't have 109 million. So
Hmm.
where was it at? Like after the first year, do you remember?
Yeah, maybe it was like 7 million. That is a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah,
But
it's a
then
lot.
after that, when she started to get recognized and so on and tour over the US, right? Yeah, it was like rising and rising and rising, and I didn't expect that, but it was cool, of course, and I was really happy for her.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it was gradual, but from the 7 million, from there it was like faster. I,
Mm.
yeah, yeah,
Was she
cause
already was she already signed to a label or was she independent at that time?
independent, yeah, independent.
Okay. So
Mhm.
how was she? Because you mentioned she just did a really good job of like promoting it. So what like did you see her strategy or notice anything different that she was doing compared to other artists?
And she's like that. How do you say like I don't know. I don't remember right now the term. The call to action and those things.
Okay.
She's really good.
Hmm.
Like the intro, the hook is fast, and then
Yeah.
call to action. And like she repeated that a lot.
Hmm. So
And yeah.
a lot of videos on social media with the call to
Mm-hmm.
action at the end of the video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. So can you talk about the business side of things? She was independent. So how do you go into talking about the splits and the royalties? Is that something you do in the beginning or after they record the song? And like, what's that process like for you? Because of course, you didn't know it was going to hit 109 million views, right, at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
what's the business side like for you? And then like, what were the terms going into that music or into that song?
And basically, the terms are the publishing side of this, and
Hmm.
she contacted me as well. She wanted the exclusive. Um, I mean, as exclusive, the beat as exclusive. But she didn't. I mean, we didn't go in that. We didn't go into that yet, because she was really busy last year. But
Hmm.
I talked to her lawyer. How do
Hmm.
you say
Oh
lawyer?
yeah.
Yeah, um, and yeah, we are in that part. But as the publishing side of that is my right. So I already have the split. But
Hmm.
we are like negotiating. How do you say
Hmm.
negotiating?
You got it.
um, and we are going exclusive. Maybe I think this year. Uh,
Really?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
when did she release the song? How many years ago?
It was 2023. Yeah,
Okay,
3 years
so
ago.
3 years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
So what is that like? Are you like chasing her lawyer down or like, or you said she reached out to you. So I'm assuming she gave you her lawyer's contact info to you.
Yeah, and the lawyer
Mm,
contacted
okay.
me. He
Okay.
contacted me. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's
Hmm.
cool. I know a lot of producers have trouble with artists who just don't contact them and their song blows up and like they don't hear anything and they can't reach out to them. I talked to this one
Hmm.
producer who got paid $200 for a beat and the label paid them like 7 months later, and I was like, you might as well just
Oh,
kept your $200. You know what I mean?
okay.
Um,
Hmm.
but how do you handle the business side, or is that not something you look at entirely? You just focus on the creative.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, creative side of the business.
Hmm.
But I try to be consistent and
Hmm.
then try to sell the beats and so on, and also other things besides the music. Uh,
Of course. Yeah.
but I mean, I'm more like a passionate guy, and
Hmm.
I just do what I love, and maybe that love is that kind of brings me the money. I don't know how to explain
Hmm.
this.
I
Not
get
too
it.
like nah, I have to make money.
Of course.
Nah, but I'm grounded. How do you say, like you are here in the earth,
Hmm.
not just dreaming, but not too much. Like I have to make money or and so
Hmm.
on. Yeah.
As far as other opportunities, did you have any other opportunities where you had your beats on songs that hit millions of views besides that one?
Yeah, with the artist Peyton Parrish, he
Hmm.
make a lot of. We made, and for him it's just exclusive. He just contact me, contacted me. He asked for exclusive beats, custom ones, and yeah, we have like maybe six songs or more that hit 2 million, some 3 millions in total, more than 10 millions or maybe more now.
Hmm.
But yeah, he is my client, and I have a lot of other clients. But he's basically one of the more famous
Yeah.
after Biol and Byra, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I mean, you mentioned 6 songs with him. Like, how did you? I mean, I'm assuming you guys have a relationship since he's your client. So, I
Hmm.
mean, how do you go about like developing relationships, or do you not even think about it? You kind of just like let it happen.
yeah, I just let it happen. Is
Mm-hmm.
if the guy contacts me and he's cool and he doesn't, I mean, he pays and everything, and oh, I deliver as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, and he's a really good guy. Is that how do you say that? Man on his word, like really,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's really cool. That for me, that's amazing to work with him, and I always deliver. I always
Mm-hmm.
on time and so on. So yeah, it's really easy for me if it is that way, right?
So would you have two songs or more than two songs? I think what, seven songs? Because you have six with Peyton. So when you
Mm-hmm.
have this many songs that have like millions of views, how do you like? How do you price differently, or does the price stay the same for you in terms of the work that you're gonna give to people if they ask for it? Does that change for you? And if it does, how so?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question,
Yeah,
please?
so what I'm asking is after that success, right? You got a couple
Mm-hmm.
songs with a lot or millions of views.
Mm-hmm.
When people want to record with you, when they want to buy beats from you, when they want to get exclusives, does the price change because of that? And if so, like, how much do you change it by, right? Like how do you measure, the price difference for yourself?
Yeah, what I do is, yeah, it changed just not too much,
Hmm.
but because the work itself is like takes a lot of time. So
Hmm.
and you have to make it sound good and you have to make it sound catchy.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of work, and it just changed maybe a little more. And I let them know. Okay, so I work with him. I work with this.
Mm.
So right now my rates are a little more than before and so on.
Hmm.
Maybe if the let's say the client wants a pan rock, which is
Hmm.
easier to do, maybe I can do some deal or to start.
Hmm.
Yeah, and to start, so we start from here, and then if you come back, maybe I can do a cheaper and so on. So, something like that. But yeah, I cannot charge to how do you say that? Charge less because it's a lot of work,
Of
and
course. Yeah.
yeah, that's
When
why.
you get that much recognition, is there like a huge flood of people like reaching out to you to that want to work with you, or does it kind of like stay the same?
And right now it's less, but at that time was a lot of people and
Hmm.
reaching out on Instagram a lot. Had a inbox really
Hmm.
full of the inbox was full, and then with the time like going a little
Yeah.
down maybe,
Hmm.
yeah,
Was
but
that over?
still
Was that
still,
over? Was that
huh?
overwhelming for you? Was it overwhelming for you to have all those people reaching out to you?
Yeah, because you have to do a lot of instrumentals. I mean
Hmm.
custom ones.
Hmm.
But you can, I mean, I can handle it. I mean, I can do. I mean, I don't lie to them. I just like say, okay, I'm busy, so maybe in 1 month
Hmm.
or 2 months or maybe 2 weeks. It depends on the
Hmm.
situation. Yeah.
When you go into making custom beats for people, is the creative process like the same? I know some people have formulas, or is it different every time you go into it, or you base it just off what the artist wants?
It depends. Yeah, it depends on what the client wants, and I always ask for the examples. If they send me
Mm.
some
Hmm.
examples, so I can base on that
Hmm.
and start from there. But my formula is always the how do you say the structure is kind of the same
Mm.
because that's basically what people wants to hear. It's like intro and verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then do the same basically,
Hmm.
and then go to a bridge, and then the outro, chorus and outro, and that works almost all the time, unless the client don't want that. But most of the time, it's like that something natural, and if when they listen to the instrumental, they say, okay, they know where to put the parts basically. It's like most of the songs are like that. Most, yeah.
How is it like being a creator? Because you're a creative for a living, you know. Like me personally, I make beats for fun, but I don't think I could make beats to sell because that means I have to make beats every single day, and I always run out of creativity. So like, how do you manage to not run out of creativity? And do you ever feel any pressure? Like, oh my gosh, I can't think of anything for this chorus or anything like that, but I have to get paid. You know, I feel like
Hmm.
people making it a living adds additional pressure to them. So do you feel that? And do you ever like run out of creativity?
Yeah, maybe sometimes, yeah, because you wake up and you don't have anything in your mind, like, and zero inspiration.
Mhm.
But you can learn how to do that. It's like it's sometimes you don't want to do anything, but you sit down and start doing something, and something sparks. I mean, your your mind or some inspiration, or I just listen to music,
Mhm.
and then maybe one song start to inspire me. I started, but it's basically like I don't know, going to the gym.
Mhm.
Like you don't want to go one day, but if you go there and then start to working out, then you are cool. Not the same because its creativity is different, but kind of the same. It's like you have to force yourself, and maybe
Mhm.
you ended up liking what you do. It's like it's discipline most
Mhm.
of the time, and
Mhm.
based on a formula as well, not copy of course, but when you
Mhm.
have like the structure and so on, structure. I don't know how to say. Yeah,
No, you got it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so then, is this something you do every day, or do you have days off? Like some people treat it like a 9 to 5. I'm off on the weekend, or
Mm.
is this what you're doing every single day, treating it like a muscle, going to the gym?
Yeah, I try to do it every day.
Mhm.
So if I don't do a complete beat, I just record the guitar or some
Mhm.
ideas or maybe the keyboard or maybe I can do just recording on my cell phone the ideas and so on. I try to do every day. So as you said, it's like a working out
Mhm.
muscle of the mind, basically. Yeah.
Is do
And
you ever sorry? Do you ever get burned out? Is that something you ever get tired of?
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
imagine.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And I just take breaks,
Mhm.
maybe 20 minutes or 1 hour or maybe 2 hours, or call the day off sometimes. Yeah,
Do you ever get tired of listening to music? Like I hear producers who say they don't like listening to music because that's all like you know what I'm saying. All they do is listen to their own music. I know you mentioned you listen to music for inspiration when you like don't have no
mm-hmm.
creativity, but in general, does making music every day make listening to music, other music, like not as enjoyable, or is it more enjoyable for you?
Yeah, sometimes yes. Maybe
Uh-huh.
well, I am when a friend come here and we drink some beers. I don't want to listen to music. I just want
Mm,
to talk and
mm,
no music, no music.
mm.
Yeah, I want to be in silence basically. But of course, if she or he wants to listen, I can listen.
Mm.
Yeah. But if it is
So
for me, no. Huh?
So when you're going throughout this process, right, especially like, in the beginning when you're working a job, starting a business, and then using that business to reinvest into the music, right
Mm.
now you're in a great spot because you're doing it full time. You're recording, releasing beats, working with artists, you have clients. So did you ever bring back that habit of like starting a business outside of music and using that to invest, or are you just like solely focused on just the music itself?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I invest in real estate,
Hmm.
and first, cause it's real estate is
Hmm.
basically something that's going to rise the price in
Hmm.
years. So that's what I wanted, and also I wanted my own DPTO, my department,
Mm,
and so on. Maybe I
cool.
can move that there. I don't know, but I can rent and or I can um, how do you say sell.
Hmm.
But have just something that people will always rent places. So
Hmm.
that's the way I see So it's something that you have, how do you say that, warranted there.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. That's why, basically, yeah.
Do you think more
Mm,
producers should follow that blueprint? Like, obviously, you want to live off your music, but also have
mhm.
something to diversify your income, right? To
Yeah,
help,
exactly.
I'm sure it
Hmm.
helps you with your music. I'm sure it helps you buy more equipment, it helps you do more things. Um,
Exactly.
but I mean, I don't know, from your perspective, like, was that the initial thought going into it? Or was it just something you felt like was a better move because, you mentioned inflation and things like that?
Yeah, and I think it was because I watched some how do you say, like, business business videos. I mean, people that recommend, hey, diversify your money and invest in something, and they always say that real estate is
Hmm.
something really good, and also Bitcoin. But
Really?
yeah. So
Were you early on?
no, no,
No, okay.
unfortunately, and why? Because we couldn't buy here Bitcoins.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Because a friend from United States told me when it was like $100. He told
Wow.
me buy at least and one and buy. I don't remember how many. It's like 10 Bitcoins. He told
Hmm.
me basically, or more. I don't remember. And I couldn't. I wanted to buy. I wanted to buy.
Hmm.
I couldn't because we couldn't when we couldn't.
Yeah.
It was impossible here.
Mm.
So yeah, it was going to. I was going to have maybe 10 Bitcoins or more.
Mm. I mean, if you did buy it, you probably wouldn't be here talking to me right now. You'd probably be somewhere else. so,
Yeah.
so interesting. Like, obviously, you're in Paraguay, right? And you made your
Uh-huh.
career in Paraguay. And I know earlier you mentioned, like, hey, there's not a lot of musicians and bands in Paraguay. We're a small place, small scene.
Mhm.
And then also
Mhm.
you mentioned, like, the Bitcoin, for example, like, you're not able to do it in your country. So,
Mhm.
do you ever see where you're living as a producer as a limitation because you live in a country where there isn't as many people, isn't as many musicians? Did you
Yeah.
ever see that as a limitation, or did you ever see that as an advantage? Did it make you maybe hustle a little bit harder?
Yeah. That's
Hmm.
right. The pros and the cons were the cons. I couldn't use PayPal, for
Hmm.
example, and BeatStars is all about PayPal. So I had to realize how to, and it was hard.
Hmm.
And I started to, how can I do, and that makes you, like, how do you say, like, search or research, do your
Hmm.
research
Yeah.
and so on. And also the Bitcoin thing, I couldn't buy. I can have. Um, I mean the limitation, this restriction from my country, because in that time Paraguay was like, so how do you say that? Well, not so trustable. I don't know how to say
Hmm. I get it.
trustable. I don't know. Yeah, and so on. So yeah, it's hard, and so hard you have to realize or do some research and work harder and so on. But I really
Mhm.
wanted to be on BeatStar because it was really, like, the number one platform and
Mhm.
so on. Yeah, but as you said, the pros are that you should work harder. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
And the,
you.
the internet exists. It's like way too easy with the internet right now. Like, you can
Yeah.
be in a small town, rural country, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yeah, that's interesting, right? Like, I mean, your limitation was the reason why, like, you were successful. You just found a way to do it, and it probably made you
Hmm.
better than some people. But that's interesting. So at this moment, obviously, you're producing, you're recording, you're investing in real estate. Is there anything else you're doing, or is that like just the gist of it?
Yeah, I also have my metal band. It's basically,
Okay.
it's modern metal basically. So
Mhm.
I mix some part with trap beats,
Mhm.
and so on, and yeah, and that's
Mhm.
my other goal. I always had that dream to play with a rock band or metal band in this case,
Mhm.
and maybe tour Europe or maybe just here in the region as well. Why
Mhm.
not? But one of my main goals is to tour Europe, in maybe United States. But United States is really hard because you have to go to the embassy and ask for the visas and so on. It's really hard process. And Europe is easier because you just have your passport and you go. I mean, you have to pay a booking agency and so on. But besides that, you have your passport and then you go to the place and play. It's not too hard. But United States is really hard. It's really hard to
Mm.
go there.
I don't think I ever like looked into the process, so I never really like thought about it from my end because I live in the U.S.
Yeah.
But so right now, what's kind of stopping you from going to Europe? Is there anything in particular, or I guess building the connections with the agencies that can book you?
Yeah, I'm building the connection first, and
Hmm.
also I have to play more here and maybe in Argentina, Brazil, and so on.
Hmm.
So I have to build a career. I have to show something, and then from there, then you can say, "Hey, I played here, I played there." So I have this career and document everything, and then
Hmm.
have an EPK and so on,
Hmm.
pictures, videos, and then show that to the agency, and then start from there. And they will say, okay, I can put you with this band here and tour the Europe and so on. Yeah.
Hmm. I know you're thinking in terms of like artists and moving as a band with the EPK and things like that. But do you also think producers should move like that? Like, I think a lot of producers should move more like artists should. I think right now, like, the shift is changing. And if you really
Mhm.
want like a better career, then you got to look like an artist, but you're really a producer. So, I mean, for those who don't know what an EPK is, can you explain what that is?
Yeah, electronic press kit where you put your achievement, basically everything you did and you achieve. How do you say achieve, right?
Mm-hmm. Achieve.
Yeah, um, and yeah, put everything there, and that's really cool. I mean, when people read and put the links there, what you achieved, and so on. And I don't know if I explained it well, well, but
No, it's okay.
basically,
Yeah,
basically a resume. How do you say
a
resume?
resume. Yeah,
A
it's
resume.
your
Yeah,
resume.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Basically.
Yeah, it's a digital resume you can share via email with like all types of people, label owners, A&Rs, whoever you're trying to reach out to, just to
Mm-hmm.
showcase like your track record, your music, your beats, whatever the case is. But yeah, man, I mean, I think touring that'd be crazy, that'd be sick. Have you been touring in Paraguay or anywhere else out of
Yeah,
Paraguay?
yeah, a lot here.
Mhm.
And I played in Argentina. I play in Brazil.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
That's nice.
just random. It wasn't like a tour. It was just
Hmm.
one day there, one day there, and a lot here because we have a decent scene. It's not big, but
Hmm.
you can play a lot. Yeah.
How important do you think it is as a producer to be able to, because well, you're in a band, so you play instruments, right? Piano, guitar, and you know how to use DAW, mix and master. A lot of producers that I speak to just make beats and they try to sell beats to people, and no one wants to buy their beats because you can get beats for free online, YouTube, BeatStars, it doesn't matter. So how important
Mhm.
do you think it is to have those other skills that artists need besides the beats? The mixing, the mastering, engineering, recording, playing instruments. Do you think that's more important than producing itself, or do you think the producing is more important than any of that?
Yeah. I think it's a compliment because
Hmm.
I have clients that ask me for guitar, just record guitar, or maybe make some arrangement on the keyboard or different elements. And yeah, I can mix and master as well. So yeah, I have a lot of type of clients. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think it's more important to know all those things, right? Yeah,
I
for
agree,
me at
and
least. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think it makes the biggest difference, especially right now with. I mean, it's just oversaturated with beats.
Mm-hmm.
But I have one last question. I just want to ask this. I usually ask this to everybody. If you can go back in time and talk to a younger version of yourself when you started, is there anything or any advice you'd give your younger self to do differently?
Yeah, maybe be more organized with the business side. Yeah,
Mm, okay.
because when you start, not all, but in my case, it was like just pure passion and just to do this and do that, and you kind of forget that side, which is important, not the most important, but it is important because you are going to make money and money give you food basically.
Right.
Yeah, and other things, but you know what I mean. It's like the basic thing is that we have to eat to survive, right?
Of
So
course.
yeah, so yeah, maybe start with the more organized, with the business side, that very important, and do what you love. Do what you love and being consistent. Yeah, always consistent and never never lay down. How do you say? Never mm, and keep on with the frustration. So frustration is like normal.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the podcast. Unfortunately, Madatracker was having a little technical difficulties. Usually, we ask them where you could follow them. So you can follow him on Instagram, Madatracker, Madatracker on Instagram. Go give him a follow. Go give him a comment. Go send him a DM if you want to network with him. He's a producer out in Paraguay. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next episode. Peace. That's it for today's episode of Producer Talk. If you got value from the conversation, be sure to subscribe and follow the podcast for more interviews with producers who are building real careers in the music industry. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.